So we are back with lovely, hello, Lily. Really sorry. So upset, but things. One, was I'll say thank you all for people who a lot of people subscribed. We're at freaking 3 freaking 20 last I freaking checked. Like hot damn. Um, really thank you. Um, I'm gonna try. Like I said, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna make some more like videos or whatever, some little shorts. Um, but really, thank you. I'm glad. I mean, um, but anyway, let me shut and get back to HelloLady. Also, I'm going to get tomorrow. I am going to be doing the monster video. Um, I don't know if it's going to be great, but I mean, I'm gonna try. I'm not. I'm still looking. I'm still looking up pictures and shit like that. So that's that. But anywho, let me just shut up. Hmm. Anyway, if I panicked and acted without care, I risked falling straight into a trap. There was no doubt in my mind that he was vigilantly waiting for me to slip up.
相変わらず大義は詩人だ。世界のささやく秘密か。そういうものがあるのなら、私もぜひ聞いてみたいものだよ。
I acted like a friend, but with a sense of formality that felt empty. It it was extremely easy after all. I just had to remember. Taiki stared at me. I was aware of how languid, yet sharp and penetrating pulses pierced into my heart. We were both completely aware of the coldness hiding behind our acts of friendship, but neither of us let our thoughts slip out.
ところで、この間描いていた絵はどうしたのかね。
今作はなかなか気に入ったよ。だから着彩もするつもりでいるんだ。
It was no exaggerate. It was no exaggeration to call call this act comedic. Uh, but we continued to but we continued to dance regardless. Excuse me. Uh, he he had he had he had a sketchbook with him. No, he had a sketchbook on him, probably because he wished to head out for some early morning practice. Ooh, sorry. Anyway, some early morning practice, and he showed me one of the things he drew.
エドガードが顔負けの大義の探求心には恐れ入る。
From what from what I saw last night, his sketchbook, yeah, okay, no, not last night. From what I saw last time, his sketchbook contained nothing but mates. So I'm so I was wait, so I so wait, so I compared him to the genius painter Edgar Degas, who was notably obsessed with ballerinas.
じゃあ僕は朝食まで部屋にいる。
Okay, look at Jackie Sicko. And Sorako walked up the stairs without waiting for my response. Taigi, Sorako, and I. It was a moment that lasted more than a few seconds. But wait, but I felt like the clock had rewound a whole 7 years. Nah. The foremost issue on my mind was the appearance of Circle B. During the first lesson of the day, I sat in my seat, lost in thought. From what Sorako B said this morning, she was Sorako's ally, but but I didn't know if I could take that perspective. I mean, I wouldn't. See, she appeared before me. She appeared before me while Sorako was asleep, meaning she had her own will and goals. Mm. Honestly, it almost felt like I had another Ator at my side. I couldn't predict what she would do. I had to find out her motives as soon as possible, or get rid of her if need be. Also, there was one other thing I had to worry about.
おはよう、成田。
This fu- it's him, as usual. Tiger Kono sat by my side like it was his designated seat. His maid stood by him. I still didn't know his motives either. The most reasonable and likely scenario was that he was sent to investigate me by Kuro. He often stared at me with a piercing gaze. But was that really it? I mean, it's more to it than that. It's much more to it than that from what we saw through Tama's run. But anyway, uh, wait, Taiki used to be a silent boy who hid a fierce passion inside. At the very least, he never looked disinterested.
考えるな。理由を問うのは余計なことだ。必要なのは帝大義がどのような懸念になるのか。
Okay, sorry, had to try it out. And damn, okay, my freaking damn thumb is freaking gone like numb right after on my freaking run. No, on my pinky. Okay, not my pinky. Um, it's well somewhat numb any damn way. But hopefully it's not nothing too bad.
第2幕はこれまでのところ順調。残る敵は3人。奴らにふさわしい末路をくれてやるまで邪魔されるわけにはいかない。
Yeah, we must kill him. I stopped that train of thought, focused on class, and heard the beautiful talk of the maidens. Has to be our girls. Yep.
この間超ムカつくブログがありました。ラーメンにバター入れたがるやつはしねえ。腹が立つので掲示板荒らしする寸前でサクに超怒られてしまいました。
I mean, I can I can understand where Eric's coming from, quite frank. Though at the same time, I've never tried it, so I can't really say anything wrong. I mean, I quite frank now that I think about, I want to try it. Quite frank, I want to try it. Uh, ramen with, well, I guess it's butter, just normal butter, right? Uh, I mean, I mean, I, I mean, I want to try it. Quite frank.
ところ相手構わず噛みつくけだものか、お前は。
I love it, Tama.
サク、朝食欲なかったみたいだけど平気？ご飯お茶碗に2杯しか食べないなんて。
Oh, she only ate 2 bowls of rice. She usually eats more, so Saki's a greedy girl.
いいの。ダイエット中なの。
She's gained weight. She gained weight.
うん。全くもって素晴らしい。学園なる制度は美を司る神の作りたもうた手法に違いない。
I, I, I swear to goodness, I wish our boy was a bit more savage on the comment side as well. Besides, talk about girls' beauty and all that shit. Yeah, I wish, for some more roasting, quite frankly, of the girls a little bit. sitting in the classroom and observing the beautiful thighs, collarbones, neck nappets of voluptuous bodies of the girls had become a part of my daily routine. I mean, that's great and all, but I mean, yes, okay, yes, it's fantastic. Believe me, it's freaking fantastic. You know, the thighs, the column, that's all great stuff. We need some casual roasting every now and then. Put the girls in a place a little bit. Well, yeah, quite frankly, yeah. Sorako obviously stood among the friendly maidens. Her halo allowed her to see others' wounds. And since she couldn't control her power, she saw what all her friends wanted to hide most.
彼女たちも大したものだ。
In my eyes, in my eyes, there didn't seem to be any hint of hostility or awareness between them. In fact, I only saw pure uh, familiarity. I I couldn't tell whether the source of their friendship was their trust in each other, sympathy as fellow HMIs, or the willingness to accept each other as monsters. However, as an outsider, well, yeah, no, wait. However, even as an outsider, I knew that I knew that the road that led to this relationship was not a simple one.
美しきかな、友情。
Yeah, for such friendship.
誰もが彼女たちのように振る舞えるのかな。
Yeah. Taiki spoke as if reading my mind. He looked firmly ahead, making it seem like he didn't care about his own words.
大義も HMI だ。理解者は欲しくないのかね。
他人を本当の意味で理解する方法はないよ。
I mean, true, true. He had a point he had a point to add to that. Shina Najiri also had no need for someone who understood him.
同じような問題はこのスクールにおそらくいくつもある。眠る不発弾のように。
I mean, yeah.
君はどうかな、成田真理。あらゆるハローを前にしても聖人君子でいられるだろうか。
大義はどうかね。秘密の一つもない人間はいないというのが通説だが。
Sure. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness. I feel stupid. Cause I freaking didn't pause, whatever. So stupid of me. Anyway, I really need to
も
hot
ちろん
feed this stuff.
僕はただの人間だとも。
No, yeah. He avoided answering prop wait, yeah, wait, he avoided answering properly, but he was not wrong. His words spoke of how much different how much his words spoke of how difficult it was how difficult it was to manage a 200 strong uh a 200 strong group of HMOs. There there was there were probably a few cases like Soroko's at any academy. Not everyone could live the way that Tours did. The relatively peace of the academy was merely a front that hid a delicate balance that was on the verge of collapse. I had no choice but to admit to wait, but yeah, I had no choice but to admit that Kuro's skills had kept this fragile balance alive. I stopped mumbling over my thoughts and focused on the endless exchange between the crowns once more. The conversation had taken a darkened turn.
もう終わったことを蒸し返すのはやめなさい。
Oh. For whatever reason, the main subject of the conversation was the classmate who vanished into thin air mid-term.
でも何も言わずにいなくなるのは変だってサクだって言ってたでしょ。
I
あれ以
mean,
来メールの返事だってないし。
from what we learned in freaking um Tama's route, you know, it's not well. It was our lovely Mitri. Sorako put a finger on her lip and frowned her brow, a feminine gesture that contrasted to what that contrasted contrasted with her boyish uniform.
あいつはついていけなくなったんだろ。それでやめた。仕方ないじゃん、そんなの。
Thomas spat out those words with in a rude manner, her legs dangling on the front, wait, her legs dangling on the desk in front of her. Oh man, maybe can we see? Can we see up the skirt? With enough observation, one could clearly tell. Uh, but one could clearly tell, despite her delinquent image, she had a sense of modesty and took great care in protecting it. Under normal circumstances, she would never have thrown she would never have thrown out legs and put herself at risk of having her panties exposed, which uh, which was quite unfortunate. Our boy's already ahead of it. Today was different, however. She gave off the aura of a wild animal trying to put on a display of intimidation.
やめるって思い出しましたが、やめるのやって字はどうして舌が辛いって書くんですかね。ブータン人かよ。
Aw,
ブータン料理って辛いのか？
辛いですよ。唐辛子にチーズかけて焼いただけとかいう料理もあるとか。
okay, that seems a bit too much. Compared to the others, Error seems unaffected. She acted about the same as ever over the course of the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's just Eru. Though I have not played her route. We haven't played her route yet. So I mean, uh, okay, okay. I think Eru's probably gonna be the one the most affected by all of this. I think. It's, wait, Eru, Eru wasn't very expressive, so it was hard to read how she truly felt. For all I know, she didn't care about what happened. Yeah, exactly. We can't read Eru. We can't read Eru's um emotions like that. She has to like somewhat emotionless face a little bit, ex except except when she except when she when okay except when it's like super fucking interesting like anime and shit like that. She lights the hell up when it's something that interests her. She lights up and cutely. Anyway, the Crown's relationship were complex. And since they were retrograded HMI, Shina Natri didn't have the option didn't have the option of ignoring them. I had to be careful around them, no matter how large the dam. No matter how large the dam, it could be brought down by a hole as wide as a needle. Tama ended the conversation, stood up, and went to the hallway with an aura of dejection about her. It was hard to call out to her, but one was strong enough to do it.
どこ行くの？もうすぐ 授業始まるよ。
Only Sorako.
用事。すぐ帰ってくる。遅れたら空子が適当に言い訳しといてくれ。
In the end, in the end, no one stopped her as she left the classroom.
玉緒ちゃん、最近一人でどっか行っちゃうことが多いね。夕
Uh,
食に間に合わないこともあるし。
okay, okay, it's nice. Okay, it's nice that okay, it's nice that okay, okay, it's nice that in the other routes we're starting to see we're seeing the the okay, okay, we're seeing what what okay, we're somewhat seeing the like the little bits of pieces of what would happen if even okay, even if we did not pick Tama's route. Okay, even if we didn't pick the girl's route, I mean, okay, okay. Um, we okay. Even if we didn't pick the girls route, we're seeing, things to hint at, hey, what the hell they're doing, you know. But anyway,
元が野良犬みたいなキャラですから、どこか遊び場所を見つけたのでしょう。
Sorko tried to play tried to play devil's advocate again, but when faced with the gloomy atmosphere, she had no choice but to fall silent.
やっぱり仕方ないよね。
Yeah.
そうね。いつまでも終わったことにこだわるよりも、クラウンの責務を果たしましょう。私たちにはやるべきことが多いのだから。
Yeah. Saki sweat my no. Sorko lumped with us, but Sorko slumped her shoulders and walked back to her seat. Our eyes met. It was no accident. I was looking at her.
成田くんは気にならない？みとりちゃんのこと、それに玉緒ちゃんのこととか。
I mean, yes, but we already know what happens. I'm more worried about Sorko, quite frank. Obviously, I wanna pour Sorko in and just slowly unbutton that uniform and just do many unspeakable things.
私はサクと同じ意見だよ。人の生きる道はそれぞれだ。振り向くよりも前を向いて己の道を模索し進む方がずっとためになる。特に麗しい乙女はそうであるべきだ。
Mhm. My words didn't match my thoughts, but they still came out naturally.
うん。うん。
Oh, what? See, my bad. I'm sorry, Sorkin. However, there were certain things in this world you had to do before moving forward. Yeah, like killing off the past, tying up loose ends, to say. She and Naturi had been waiting for this weekend for a while. Histia had wait, excuse me. Histia had informed me that a certain man would arrive at the academy, so I waited for him to. So I waited him with bated breath, like a young boy about to meet the superstar he idolized. The academy was a boarding school designed to create true nobles. Though we had no lectures on weekends, the students didn't rest. Some took supplementary lessons, some developed their halos, and even those who didn't, and even those who did rest, did it with great diligence and care. Everyone has goals, and everyone worked hard for it, and everyone worked hard for it.
はい、成田くん。お茶をどうぞ。
Hi, ooh, good, so cold. After breakfast, I didn't feel like staying in my room, so I went to the living room. My Tommy collided with Sorako leaving her room, so she prepared some black tea for me. Oh, yummy! Mm. And at that moment, at that moment, Eru and I resided on the first floor, while Saki, Sorako, and Tama lived on the second. Uh, there were in fact four rooms on the second floor, but the last one belongs to Mitri, who's essentially been replaced by Taiki. It wasn't rare for Soroko to appear with perfect timing. If anyone ever lazed around the living room, she appeared as though she felt their presence.
うん、ダージリン。てらいのない風味がよく出ていて素晴らしい。あらゆる物事で基本こそ奥義に通じる。この味を引き出せるのは実に見事なものだ。
別にそこまですごいことじゃ。あ、この前焼いたクッキーの残りがあるけど、成田くん食べる？
If you feed them, if you feed them to me, I'll take them.
いただこ
After preparing her own tea, Soroko sat on the sofa before me. Silence followed, and continued for a while, as the scent of tea and the cracking of cookies filled the living room.
う。今日は休日だというのに皆姿が見えないのだね。
Speaking of things I didn't see, Circle's other half hadn't made an appearance on her since her introduction. Was that truly all she wanted to say? Though, if she was telling the truth, she wait. If she was telling the truth, even though she wasn't present, she was listening in our conversation. Honestly, that was interesting in its own right.
休日だからだよ。休みの時にやることは、やっぱりそれぞれ別だよね。
Yeah, true.
それは興味深いな。我が学友諸君は一体どのように休日を過ごしているのだろ
Yeah, what does Sorako do, I wonder?
サクは真面目で、授業の予習とかかな。でも気晴らしによくお菓子を焼いたり、ジムで体を動かしたりしてるよ。
Oh, okay, that's okay. We get a little bit of insight on the girls. The gym was in the facility. It was in its faculties and the gym was in the facilities building, which was located between the school building and the research building. It had a gymnast, indoor pool, and a tennis court. Students could freely use it, so they often did.
う。うん、ジムかね。健康的な汗、躍動する死体、そして揺れる豊満、素晴らしい。私もご商売に預かりたいものだ。
I mean, it seems kind of, hot, quite frank, it's quite spicy, thinking about lovely sake, the mm, boobas and other things, jiggling around, her sweat. Oh, I do.
ご商売というと、例えばグラウンドを一緒に走ったり？
Oh, yeah, yeah. Hey, actually, can we go for Soroko? Do you want to go to the tennis court?
プールがいい、特にいい。何よりもジャパニーズスクール水着は完璧なるフェチズムの体現としてブリュッセルでも名高い完成度だ。みたい。ぜひとも実物をこの目で。
Or that too. School uniforms is always great.
成田くん、どうしてそんなに変態なのかな？
But I just say, you're just as dirty, quite frank, girl. You're just as naughty.
違う、それは断じて。この成田真理はいついかなる時でも美への信奉を捨てされないだけなのだよ。豊満のもたらす奇跡ほど完璧なものはこの世にありえないのだ。
I mean, he's speaking facts.
それを完全無欠に変態って言うんだよ。
No, it's not. What blasphemy! I ignored those with undeserved accusations and looked at the clock on the wall. Mm. It was 11 in the okay, it was 11 in the morning. If everything had proceeded accordingly to schedule, Shitaragi Kataragi was meeting with Kuro at the exact moment. Mm. Circle's father, she's Shazam, Shazam, whatever, was a man of unparalleled greed. Uh, Unsatisfied with the position and wealth he had amassed, he often met with Kuro to gain to gain even greater fortunes. Especially, specifically, he aimed to meet those who supported Kuro. Kuro was a powerful member of a certain group that funded the academy, among other things. The Bureau Society, mm, that was their name. They were a secret society that had formed in mid 2000s, in mid 20th century Europe, and what Shin. I'm just gonna say Shin, and Shin was doing his damnedest to become a member. Normally, Shin wouldn't have even stood a chance. The society only accepted elites from po- from polit what from political, uh, artistry and and scholarly fields. The fact, okay, wait, the fact that a CEO of an American IT company tried to join but was rejected was was testament to just how strong their chosen flock creed remained. Mm. Thus Shin relied on Kuro to make the impossible possible. As partners in crime, they were, after all, deeply connected. I mean, I mean, okay, okay, like how deep? I mean, I like how bad is he? Okay, like how bad is this? What unbefitting greed. Most excellent. I could use this to my advantage. He would soon learn that those who overstep their bounds always face great retribution. Mm. He would soon learn he would soon learn that the sin he committed had not vanished and received punishment, even if it didn't come from the hands of the rightful ruler of heaven and earth. Um, well,
どうかした？成田くん、笑ってる。
okay, what is our boy gonna do though?
いや、少し思い出し笑いをしていたところなのだよ。
What is our boy gonna do? I hope it's not anything to sort though. For a moment, the girl stood before me, looked like a child I used to see running through the fields. I subdued the memory by reciting an oath I swore to myself countless times. Exact your revenge, Sheena Natri. Hmm. Wait, why have you lived why have you lived these 7 long years? Remember the hell of that day. Summon your hatred and rage. Complete the solemn prayer for the dead.
本当にどうかした？今度は怖い顔してる。
I hope he doesn't do anything to Sorako now.
いや、そう、この間害虫を退治した時のことを思い出していてね。思い出し怒りというところなのだよ。
I surely I stealthily clawed into the wound on my right hand with my left. The pain finally brought peace to my thoughts. The AR interface displayed an icon that indicated a visitor had arrived. I looked at the entrance and sure enough saw someone at the door.
来たな。
He was a bit late, he was a bit late, which was probably due to his conversation with Crow taking longer than expected.
お父さんだ。
Okay. Sorako checked the door management layer on our device. I looked at my own, and the feed on the camera at the entrance showed one and only Shin. It was a visitor I expected, and one Sorako could never have predicted. Okay. Once we let him, once we let him into the living room, no, charged up to Soraka. What's wrong?
おー、ソラコ、久しぶり、しばらくだったね。ソラコ、元気だったかい？だからこんな量じゃなく、学園に直結の新しい家を建てようと。
Oh, yeah, oh, that's right. Fatherly, wants his beloved daughter.
お父さん、成田くん見てるから、落ち着いて。
Uh, her father stood there, embraced her tightly. However, his appearance puzzled Sorako. A visit to the door wasn't in wasn't in Shin's schedule. But I heard from Saki and others that he never missed a chance to visit his beloved daughter. Also, this time I was at the dorm too. After our talk, he must have looked into me and discovered that Shina's Natara's reputation in Europe. And she and Shin and Shin's eyes, Natari Shina Natari was a valuable business partner who could give him the push he needed to enter the real society. I had a feeling he would not miss the chance to get on my good side, and I was right.
そうは言っても、久方ぶりの親子の再会じゃないか。恥じることでもないだろうに。おお、ソラコ、ソラコ。
Oh my goodness. How did she take this, man?
でも、今日はどうして？
ちょっと用事で近くに寄ってね。
Oh, her father and her father's intense embrace left Sorako perplexed, but she had a happy, real grin on her face. It all left with it all felt a little excessive, but the relationship was truly dazzling. Satisfied with that long embrace, Shazan turned to me at last. He approached me with a pleasant smile, though it looked completely different from the one he gave his daughter.
ちょうどいい。私も一度詳しく話をしたかったところなのだよ。以前相談させてもらった建て替えの件なのだが。
It'll be funny if he said, I'm not here to do business with you." He put he put on a facade that was humble to the point of being creepy. He kissed up to the strong and on he kissed up to the strong only to betray them the moment they showed weakness. A true vulture among men.
あ、その件なのですが、ミスター。取り急ぎ見立ててみたのですが、かなり大規模な工程になります。となると相当のお時間と、そして費用がかかることに。
What that sounds like to me, quite frank, is it's gonna take a lot of time and expenses. So that's the slow, I would say the slow burn of bureaucracy. it's gonna take time and all that stuff. So we can just do this over time or whatever.
そのことなら何も心配はない。
He looked confused for a moment, but then he simply nodded in agreement.
なるほどなるほど。ああ、そうおっしゃっていただけるのであれば何の心配もない。それでは一度詳しい見積もりについてご相談したいのですが、ここは学園の寮ですので。
うん。
そこで、我が自慢の屋敷に招待したいのですが、ご足労いただいてよろしいでしょうか、ミスター成田。
Oh. Okay. So okay, we're gonna go to his mansion, and we're gonna kill everyone there. We're gonna kill everyone there.
良い考えだ。自分で建てた屋敷なのだと噂には聞いているよ。葛城デザイン。この目で確かめさせてもらうとしよう。では、そうだな。来週末で良いかね。
おお、問題ありませんとは。説得ですが、最高の艦隊をさせていただきますよ。案内は空子にさせますので、我が社を選んでいただき、誠にありがとうございます。
I don't know if I want Sorako there, quite frank. I don't know. Then, after some small talk, our discussion ended.
そういえば先月の夜会でお父さんに何かを頼んでいたよね。
手持ちの物件の処分を。君の父上の腕を見込んでね。信
Yeah,
頼のおける相手に仕事を頼めるのは幸いだ。
yeah, butter his fat ass up. We're gonna kill his ass. So,
ま
in Minecraft.
ったくです。信頼は最高です。私を信頼していただければ何一つ問題はありません。ではそらこ、ミスター成田にくれぐれも粗相のないようにな。
あ、はい。
Oh, Sorako seemed confused by her father's money-grabbing attention, but she saw him off to the entrance all the same. I watched the father and child leave, squinting my eyes with sharp blades. That vomit-inducing exchange with Shin was merely a means to an end. My plans were proceeding well. The man danced on strings like a worthless puppet, just as I wanted him to. It was finally time for the second act to begin. Shirazi Katsuragi, I planned to make him taste true despair, befitting a traitor. His cruel end would come once he realized the weight of his sins. Oh boy. Ah, excuse me. A week passed as promised. I received the invitation to the Katsuragi mansion. Soraka and I got permission to leave the academy and hopped in the car that had come to pick us up. Everything was going according to my plan. Mm. The Katsuragis were a Makoto branch family that had left before any other. They were the Makoto's treasurers, as well as their point of contact with the outside world. After mingling with commoners for many years, their blood grew thin. So starting with the previous generation, they had become a little more than normal human beings themselves, than normal humans themselves. And with that change came selfish human desires. The Makotos often chastised them, so it was only natural that Shiza, the new head of the Katsuragi family, had started to think a nuisance.
そしてあの男は裏切った。帝本家の人間を皆殺しにする陰謀に加担した。
Thus, no, I said thus. I had history to investigate and found that the Katsuragi that the Katsuragi mansion was located on the border between neighboring uh neighboring prefectures. It wasn't a place it wasn't a place you could go on a whim. Thankfully, the seats. Excuse me. Excuse me. Uh, uh, Thankfully, the seats of the large German car she had provided felt rather pleasant, making the long journey completely painless. We eventually left the car, and Sorako led me to her home. Oh my,
成田くん、ここです。
my, this is lovely.
うん。これは見事な邸宅だ。和のもたらす静けさと調和は世界に冠たる芸術と言っても過言ではないものだよ。
I mean, it was nice and lovely, Japan style, open. The building was surrounded by a verdant bamboo grove. Excuse me. Yeah, by a bamboo grove. It had a mountainous forest as a backdrop. It felt rather modern, but the building was a a but the building was so luxurious you can mistake it as a temple. You can mistake it for a temple. Beyond the gates beyond the gates there was a garden full of stones and trees, as well as the main building and several detachments. This was Katsuragi design. Katsuragi was renowned in the industry for his bold designs, which incorporated traditional Japanese substance. The the fact that the fact that art like this had scrummed from that vulture's mind made me question the workings of the human brain.
ソラコは昔からこの土地にいたのかね？
I asked a question I knew the answer to full well.
昔は他の土地にいたんですが、何年か前に引っ越してきました。父がここの土地を気に入って。
Okay. Circle's tone changed as soon as we entered the gates. She seemed a lot more tense than usual. Strayed was probably the best word for it. Soraka led me deeper in. We passed the garden by walking on the stones, taking in the scent of the moth ultras all the while. Then we traveled through a walk. No, we traveled through a walkway sided. Wait, yeah, side. Wait, we walked through a hallway sided by shoji by shoji until we arrived at a reception area that mixed Western and Japanese styles. Okay, whoa, okay. The gloomiest reception area looked quite odd. Well, okay, this is nice. The wallpapers and small pieces were all Japanese, but there was a carpet spread out on the floor, as well as a luxurious table and sofa in the middle. The wood flooring that peeked in from the neighboring room made it feel strange, but not too bad. Deeper in, I saw a tomaki which displayed Japanese vases, hanging scrolls, hunting rifles, and swords, and the raised floor. Oh, there was all t- t- time, but there was all tamamet, tamani. Anyway, uh, this was also what this was also probably designed by Shinichi himself. It was actually my first time seeing uh t- okay, whatever, in a Western room. I couldn't help but praise him for incorporating it as well.
人間とはつくづく不思議なものだね。
Mm-hmm.
父を呼んできます。少しだけ待っていてください。
Okay. I sunk into the soft sofa. She presented me with Japanese tea and a black cup. It seems she prepared it herself.
急ぐ必要はないよ。せっかく一日の外出許可を取ったのだから、ゆるりとこの庭でも眺めながら待っていよう。
Can we go with Sorako, my friend? Can we, I quite want to pull her in and do
わ
unspeakable
かりました。
things.
では、落ち着いて呼んできます。
Okay.
そうしてくれたまえ。
Sorako quickly turned around and walked off down the hallway. I mean, I would say Sorako feels a little bit, tranced a little bit, She seemed overly considerate in the academy, but it was worse in her own home. In her own home, she really did have a tendency to needlessly overburden herself. Yeah, girl, relax. She needs to relax. A while later, I hear in orderly wait I heard in orderly footsteps, and Shin entered the room.
いやー、今日はご足労おかけしました。どうもどうも、ミスター成田。
Oh, this fucker! I say I almost can't wait till we're off him, but at the same time, I hope it's not. I hope. Okay, I can't wait till we're off him, but at the same time, and this is gonna leave a batting effect on Soraka. Another person stood close behind him.
はじめまして、ミスター成田。桂木の妻、玉でございます。以後、どうかお見知りおきを。
Ah, it's a shame we don't have a model for her or whatever. She was so middle aged. She was a middle-aged woman clad in traditional Japanese clothing, who looked far too thin. I assumed she was quite the beauty in her younger years, but now she's too bony for that. Oh God. Mm. After that, Shin's wife backed away. She acted nonchalantly, but I could tell she was evaluating me. Shina Katsuragi sat on a sofa on the other side of the table. Soroko sat at his side, placing some distance between them. Odd, considering the fact that Shin and I wished to discuss business. She had no reason to be here. I highly doubt that someone as meek as Soroko insisted on that, which meant someone had insisted it.
では早速詳細を聞かせてもらうとしよ
I mean, Shina's words thick with greed, went in one ear and out the other. One of the reasons for that was because hearing his cheerful voice made me want to vomit. The other was Sorako Katsuragi. I looked at her. I looked at the girl who remained seated at her father's side. Sorako used to be more free spirited, through though not as bright as the sun. She was cheerful enough to be compared to a sunflower. I mean, I can see the resemblance. How much? How had she? Wait, how had she changed so much? She dressed like a man, and though and though not an invert, she never put herself forward. Instead, she spent a lot of time and effort worrying about the needs of others. I couldn't see the link between our past and present. Okay. I'm willing to guess. Now this is just my thought, right as of right now. I think they had to correct her behavior. You know, with I would say getting some nice good some bamboo outside. You know, took a piece of bamboo off the freaking trees out there and disciplining poor Soroko. However, I was certain she knew nothing of her father's sins. Of her father's sin. In that case, the cause of her change in behavior had to be her mother. Well, okay, well, probably that. Well, okay, well, I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna say thank you all for coming and all that stuff. I know this is a freaking long episode, but anywho, that's that. Um, what else? Uh, yeah, that's that. I will say again, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for subbing and all that stuff. Mm. Yeah, thank you all for subbing and all that. Thank you for hopefully y'all stay subscribed. Thank you for coming. Um, what else? What else do I say? Um, uh, also, uh, there should be a video out. There should be a scheduled video out. Um, this morning that I put out or whatever. Please, it should be like in the description, but it should be showing up now. But thank you all that. It's gonna be like a small video or whatever. But anyway, um, thank you really. And I'd say the video, doing all that really for some reason it took freaking a long damn time. Maybe because I didn't know how to do it. Maybe because I was just stupid, but you know, it could be better. I want to eventually try and get that better and all that stuff. A better freaking homes, a better freaking screen and do that, and make it better and shit like that. Much better, quite frankly, than what it looks like. But yeah. Um, thank you all for coming and all that. And tomorrow I'm gonna actually 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 okay. Actually, I might do that. I might do the video. The what you call video for later. I mean tomorrow. It might be up today, but it might be tomorrow. I have no idea. But anyway, thank you all for coming, and I hope you lovely enjoy seeing lovely cute circle. What else? Hold up. Um, also, I'm still working on the Monster Girl video and all that stuff. Again, that should be by tomorrow or freaking Saturday. Again, by the end, I say by the end of the month, like I said. It's close, but I think it's going to be by at least Sunday. Um, but anyway, yeah. Hope you all enjoyed.